Thank you for tuning in and welcome back to the Sounds of Coherency. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Recently, I'm pretty sure everybody has seen in the news the crime and the rampant outbreaks of got places like Chicago and recently Compton, as well as New York. New York's been failing for a long time. But a lot of it stems from the fact that, they put that whole bail reform plan in place a few years ago. And they've been actively just decriminalizing things. And just people being released from jail with no bail or for like $1. And the thing is the people that are being released are committing some very heinous crimes. Now, the problem is what we've seen across the nation, is what has happened, is that for the past few years, you have let people get out and commit absolute mayhem unchecked. You had the Vice President, Kamala Harris, as well as many celebrities who started GoFundMes and had the bail funds to bail people out for all of the crimes that they were committing, saying that they were just peacefully protesting. Well, I don't believe attempting to set federal courthouses on fire with the people still in them as peacefully protesting. I don't consider setting entire cities ablaze, as peaceful protesting. Let's not forget what they did in D.C. No, we're not talking about January 6th. We're talking about that little bit that the media wants to sweep under the rug, where, you had the BLM protesters and the Antifa turd-wads attempting to set D.C. on fire. Yes, that happened. We tried to say they were just peacefully protesting. No, they attempted to set a church on fire right across the street from the White House. Not to mention you had multiple people that were apprehended attempting to jump the fence as if they were going to get very far across the lawn. Well, anyways, as what's been happening recently, we've had the absolute trash of an indictment against former President Trump by the Manhattan DA, who knows that this is nothing. It's a nothing burger. There's nothing there. But I have this idea that he will probably be running for senator or governor come this next election cycle. And I think he's trying to make himself look like he was the big guy. Because here's the deal. If he loses, he can say that there was interference, and he'll run on that. The Republicans did everything they could to stop the investigation. They did everything they could to undermine the trial, and that's why Trump got off. And I guarantee you he would run on that kind of platform. And the problem is that the people who he hopes would vote for him would actually believe him, no matter how much evidence to the contrary was put before them. Now, if he wins, he would win on that idea. So, win or lose, it doesn't matter for him. Whether he wins this case or not, it doesn't even matter, because he'll be able to run on that as a platform. I'm the guy who went after Trump. But now, in response to what's going on, you have the House Judiciary Committee having a lot of questions because this is unprecedented. And, the Manhattan DA says they're trying to interfere, but no, legally they actually have the authority to look into this when a local prosecutor attempts to bring charges against a former president. That's something that Congress actually is supposed to look into. It's literally part of the process. Now, according to the Democrats, they are using it as a buffer. They're saying that the people who the Republicans are attempting to represent, because they're up in New York, but they're saying that the people that they're attempting to represent are being hoodwinked. So, according to the Democrats, the families of victims of crime in New York and the survivors of crime in New York are too stupid to understand that the Republicans are just propping them up so that they can use them for what? To bring awareness to what's going on. That's a problem for the Democrats. I completely understand the people that the Republicans have gone to talk to. I thoroughly believe that they know that they are going to use this opportunity. Okay. I don't think these people are stupid. I think they understand that. But it's a win-win situation. We get to find out what's happening and why is crime rising in New York. We get the victims and the families in front of the politicians, able to talk to them directly and ask them questions that they really want to. You get to hear the Democrats on the left chastise the victims and the families and actually demean them. It's very interesting. But I think that they know that. Because will this expedite the process of them getting the justice that they deserve for their families and loved ones? Yes, yes. Now I'm going on a little long. I want to play these couple clips from the actual House Judiciary meeting that happened in New York on the 17th. Now, there will be a mother, Ms. Braun, speaking about what happened to her son. And one of the things I do want to point out is that 2 of the assailants are serving life sentences. That's right now. So I do want to make sure that that's, pointed out as she's explaining what happened. So let's just go ahead and jump right into this.
Ms. Brame, you are recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Madeline Brame. I am the chairwoman of Victims' Rights Reform Council. I'm also the mother of a homicide victim. My son, Sergeant Hassan Korea, Afghanistan War retired veteran, was killed in Harlem in 2018. Hassan was kicked, punched, stomped, and stabbed 9 times by 4 individuals he did not know, nor had he done them any harm. All 4 of these individuals were apprehended and all 4 charged with first-degree gang assault and second-degree murder. This case just resolved this year. So this case drug on through the Manhattan criminal court system for 4.5 years. When Alvin Bragg came into office, he was handed a strong, trial-ready murder case and gang assault case against all 4 of these individuals, where this brutal, savage homicide was captured on video. He was handed a strong, trial-ready case, ready to go to trial. As soon as he took office, the case immediately began to unravel. He completely dismissed, gang assault and murder indictments against 2 of the defendants, clearly on video, participating in the brutal, savage slaughter of my son. Mary Saunders, the sister involved in the homicide. He dismissed her indictment and recharged her with assault with a shoe and sentenced her to 1 year time served. Travis Stewart dismissed his gang assault and murder indictment and sentenced him to attempted gang assault. And he pled guilty and sentenced him to 7 years. Travis will be out in the next 18 months. Mary Saunders, this savage, is currently walking the streets of Harlem Like she didn't just participate in the brutal slaughter of another human being.
That's just cold. That's cold, man. And you know, and it's not as if the two were like on the edges of the situation, or were like just guilty by association. You know, like they were there with them watching. No, no, no. They were hands on the body as it's happening. Man, they just let them out like that, man. That's I can't begin to imagine what this lady is going through. But that has to be fucking horrifying. You know, that's just an absolute slap in the face. And what the hell is attempted gang assault? Well, the gang assault was happening. An attempt would be like, well, I'm thinking about going, but yeah, I'm staying home. Yeah, he attempted gang assault, but he said no, but interacting in it, being a part of it, and helping to execute the actual fucking assault is not an attempt. You are a willing, knowing participant. This is cold. But let's get to this next bit. Elise Stefanik, which we've actually listened to her before. Very intelligent lady. But you know, let's listen to her giving the business to the Democrats who decided to give shit to the victims. And one of the victims that was there was Alba, the bodega owner, whom, you know, because he refused to give a woman a bag of crisps because her EBT card didn't have the money, she went and got her boyfriend and came back, and they attempted to, I don't know, I guess they were going to kill the guy, but he defended himself, and the dude ended up dying. Well, Bragg tried to charge him, like, for self-defense. But yeah, he was there, and he got shot on by the Democrats. But let's go ahead and listen to her real quick.
Ms. Stefanik is recognized for 5 minutes.
As a native New Yorker born and bred, I think it's important to note that many of the Democrats on this committee have smeared brave victims and fellow New Yorkers here today, calling them props, a circus, a performance, MAGA Broadway pops, and an underlying sham. What have Republicans focused on? We've focused on giving victims a voice. We've focused on crimes. We've focused on your story as a father, visiting your son at the hospital, seeing his face beaten in with an anti-Semitic hate crime. We're focused, Ms. Brame, on your story as a mother, grieving the loss, rightfully grieving the loss, and advocating on behalf of your son and his legacy. Ms. Harrison, we heard your story about losing your loved one. And Mr. Alba, we heard your story, just the personal challenges you've faced dealing with the consequences of the vicious crime perpetrated against you. And in addition to House Democrats belittling the victims here today, Democrats have politicized this hearing, mentioning Donald Trump 38 times. That number for Republicans is 0. We are focused on victims and making sure that we support law and order in this country. There is a catastrophic crime crisis across America, specifically in our great cities and great cities like New York. New Yorkers know it, Americans know it. And while Democrats on this committee may claim that New York is not the epicenter, look no further than the last November election where we flipped 4 congressional seats, delivering the House majority. What was the number one issue? It was crime. Because voters are smart. The people are smart. Mr. DiGiacomo, as a longtime member of law enforcement, I wanted to get your testimony today. How long have you served in law enforcement?
Approximately 40 years.
And in those 40 years, would you say the crime crisis today is worse than you've ever seen it?
That's correct.
Crime is up. Is it fair to say that it is a result of failed bail reform policies in Albany and Alvin Bragg's Day 1 memo?
100%.
I need hear no more. We already knew that. We've spoken about that many times. But it's just absolutely insane. And one of the guys that was there, Jewish guy, his son was beaten by a black guy. In an actual anti-Semitic crime. He was arrested shortly released on a very cheap bail, mind you. And as he got out and smiled and laughed for the cameras, he told them that he would do it again. And I'm just sitting here, wow, because I don't believe he actually ended up being charged for the hate crime that it was, despite the fact that's what it was. So yeah, New York has really gone to shit. And the fact that you have the people, the leaders that have made it, turned it into this, being called out, trying to lash out at the victims, I have to also point out the fact that this is what the people voted for. So now, according to Ms. Brame, she is a staunch conservative, and I don't blame her. But like I said, we just cannot ignore the fact that this is what people voted for. People on the right tried to tell you this is not going to work, but people said, no, we'd rather have this than mean tweets. Well, that's what you got. And another 10,000 people have recently left New York straight for Florida. So let's just wait and see how this plays out and see if the Democrats can embarrass themselves any further by trying to insult the victims and families. But I thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.